Welcome to our channel. My name is Tim Smith, and in today's video we're going to be going over everything that you need to know whether you're wanting to go with a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medicare Supplement plan. If you're new here, I highly suggest hitting the notification bell and the subscribe button so you don't miss an important video that we put out. But let's get right into it. So in order to understand your options, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, and decide which one's best for you, it's important to know how Medicare as a whole works. So let's first take a look at Medicare Part A and Medicare Part B. Now it's important to know that Medicare Part A is going to be what they call your hospital coverage. And Part B is gonna be your medical coverage. So Part A isn't typically gonna cost anything per month to have because you or your spouse worked 40 quarters or 10 years. In other words, you paid your Medicare taxes. But this year in 2025, Part B is gonna cost the average senior $185 a month. That is the standard premium for Medicare Part B. Now, if you're a higher income earner, I would encourage you to pause the video and look at this chart, because if you're a higher income earner, you actually will have to pay more for your Part B premium. So pause the video and look at this chart and see where you fall due to your income. Okay, so now that we know that, it's important to know that roughly Medicare Part A and Part B are going to cover you at 80% of all your medical and hospital bills. Now I know what you're thinking. Part A, there's deductibles. We're just taking an overview of Part A and Part B because it really doesn't matter if you add a Medicare Advantage or a supplement plan. So there is 20% that's unaccounted for, and that's where they have two options of making that 20% more affordable for you. So we're going to take a look first at what they call Medicare Advantage. Now with Medicare Advantage, it does have a reputation of only being for healthy people, but we're also going to take a look at it because sometimes people can't afford option 2 because that is the more expensive option. But with Medicare Advantage, to make sure and make this 20% more affordable, this is how it's going to work. You're first going to have a premium. Now typically with Medicare Advantage, there isn't a cost associated with it. Now that doesn't mean for every Medicare Advantage plan, but most Medicare Advantage plans have a $0 premium. So they don't cost anything per month to have. But that being said, you are going to have co-pays when you get things done. So if you go to your doctor visit, it might not cost anything, but a specialist may be $20 or $30 when you go see that specialist. Along the same lines, if you go and get a surgery done, you may have a $200 to $300 copay, or if you stay in the hospital, you may have a $200 or $300 a day copay in the hospital. Now it's important to know that Medicare Advantage plans are drastically different across the United States. Some states will have really good Medicare Advantage plans, while others are very not competitive and, to be honest with you, have a lot of risk. So it's really important to do your research and make sure you know your options locally where you're at. Now some other things that you're gonna wanna know about Medicare Advantage is they're gonna have certain doctor and hospital networks. So what does that look like? There are gonna be certain doctors that you can and cannot see that are gonna be in or out of network. There's also going to be certain hospital networks that may or may not be in network. So this is a very important factor when looking at Medicare Advantage. So we're going to start with this one and one other one, but this is a very important deciding factor of which Medicare Advantage plan you go with if you're going this route. Another thing that you're going to want to know is it has built-in drug coverage at no extra cost. So you're not going to have to go out and get a separate drug plan to go along with your Medicare Advantage plan. It's going to be built in there at no additional cost. Now this is also the biggest deciding factor. Doctor networks and your medications are the two most deciding factors when it comes to which plan that you're going to decide. Now it's also important to know that there's going to be some extra benefits built in at no cost. So you're going to have dental coverage, vision coverage, and hearing coverage built in at no additional cost. And then the last thing that you want to be aware of with Medicare Advantage is that they have what they call MOOP. It stands for maximum out-of-pockets. Now these maximum out-of-pockets are there to make sure that you're not out a sizable amount of money if something goes wrong. So I tell all our clients, think of a maximum out-of-pocket like a ceiling. If you have $1 million worth of cancer bills and you're on a Medicare Advantage plan and that maximum out-of-pocket is $4,000, well that means you cannot go above that $4,000 mark. It's also important to know that these maximum out-of-pockets are on an annual basis. So every January through December, they reset. Now one more thing that's important to know about Medicare Advantage is they have what they call PPO Medicare Advantage plans, and they have what they call HMO Medicare Advantage plans. Now typically with PPO Advantage plans, if you go in network, you're fine, you're gonna be covered just fine. But if you go out of network, you're still gonna be covered, but you will pay a higher cost. With an HMO plan, if you go in network, you're totally fine, you're gonna be covered fine. But if you go out of network, you're not gonna have any coverage. So there is a little bit more flexibility with a PPO Medicare Advantage plan than there is with an HMO Medicare Advantage plan. Now, I'm not the type of person that says, hey, this is the best option for everybody. It's not. This can be a really great option for one person, but down the road, it may be a bad option for the next person. So there's another option, option 2, that Medicare says, hey, you can take this out and it's gonna help pay for that other 20%. So your second option is what they call Medicare Supplement. Now for this example, we're going to discuss a Medicare Supplement Plan G because it's one of the most popular options going in to 2025 and beyond. And before we get too far into it, it's important to note that you cannot have both a Medicare Advantage plan and a Medicare Supplement. You have to choose one or the other. Now, if you take a Medicare Supplement Plan G out, it's gonna be pretty much the opposite of Medicare Advantage. You will have a premium, and that premium is gonna cost anywhere from $120 a month up to $300, depending drastically on where you live. So some places in New York are gonna be $300 to $400, while other places like Missouri and some average cost states are gonna be closer to the $120, $130 mark. But you will have a premium if you take out a Medicare Supplement Plan G. Now, what comes with that premium is a lot more comprehensive coverage. So for example, you have no copays on a Medicare Supplement Plan G. The only thing that you're out of pocket is a one-time-a-year deductible, which this year in 2025 is $257. So if you take option B, you take a Plan G supplement, you're gonna pay your premium every single month, and then a one-time-a-year deductible if you use your plan, and then you have 100% coverage no matter what. That means it doesn't matter if you get diagnosed with cancer, you stay 30 nights in the hospital, it does not matter. You have 100% coverage after this deductible. Now, it's also important to note that with Medicare supplements as a whole, there is no doctor or hospital networks. So this a lot of time is why people take supplements, because they like the freedom. They want to travel in retirement, or they just don't want to worry about staying in network with a Medicare Advantage plan. So all of these are non-network plans. You can go to any doctor, any facility in the country that accepts Medicare. Now, it's also important to know two more things. Number one, it is not going to have any drug coverage. So you will have to get a separate, what they call prescription drug plan to cover your medications. Basically, this plan is a standalone drug plan that goes alongside your Medicare supplement and allows you to have drug coverage for the medications that you take. Now, I tell everybody on the drug plans to budget around $0 to $40 a month more on top of this premium. Now, obviously that number can go up quite a bit depending on if you're on some really high dollar medications, but the average senior pays between this amount, $0 to $40 a month. And just a side note, for some people that are not on any medications, we highly suggest still taking a drug plan so you don't get penalized. We always say, hey, take the cheapest one, which is typically $0 a month, and that way you're not going to get penalized when you do need it in the future. And the last thing that you want to know about Medicare Supplement Plan G is that it does not cover any extra benefits either. So no dental, vision, or hearing coverage. but you can go and get a separate plan to have those services covered, but it will have a higher cost. So I tell everybody, if you want dental, vision, and hearing, budget around $25 to $50 more per month. Now guys, I know Medicare is confusing. If you need help, feel free. I have left a link down below in the description of this video where you can get a hold of me and we can look over both Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement in your area and see what it looks like in your specific county. There's no reason to do the Medicare enrollment process alone because all of our services are 100% free. We are licensed in all 50 states and can help you right away make the decision of Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, so that you know you made the right decision. So if that's something you'd be interested in, the link is down below in the description. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. We put out daily Medicare videos to educate seniors across the country from an unbiased standpoint so that you can get the information, you can do your own research, and make the right decision for your Medicare and your retirement. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button and leave a comment down below. Which option do you like more? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.